only bad workout is no workout. The Greek philosopher Hippocrates had mentioned that exercise and diet can promote health and longevity. He may not have had the scientific evidence to back his statement, but today, with the advent of modern science and molecular biology, we understand the process much better. The role of exercise in preventing and in reversing chronic diseases is overwhelming. Today, I would like to stress on one particular disease, diabetes. Good morning. This is Dr. Padma from Bleds, and today we'll be talking about how exercise can play a major role as a non-pharmacological tool in the treatment of diabetes. Diabetes is a metabolic disease where there is high concentration of glucose in the blood. Glucose is the most important fuel for our body. The hormone insulin produced by the pancreas usually helps in transporting the glucose from the blood into the cells in the body to be stored or used for energy. With diabetes, your body either doesn't make enough insulin or can't effectively use the insulin it does make. So when the carrier, that is the insulin, is not there, the glucose cannot go into the cell freely, and thus the concentration of glucose in the blood increases. With glucose remaining in the blood, the cells are deprived of the glucose fuel which is needed for the production of energy. Thus, the patient with diabetes is perennially tired and hungry. Medications given to treat diabetes act by either increasing the sensitivity of the cells to insulin so that they can take up the glucose, or they push the pancreas to make more insulin. But with time, when the pancreas gets burnt out, one may need external insulin and the cycle goes on. But there is yet another way to help the cells in taking up the glucose from the blood, and that is exercise. When we are exercising, we are contracting our bulky muscles. This needs a lot of energy. Early in exercise, glycogen provides most of the fuel for working muscles. But as the glycogen stores become depleted, muscle increase their uptake of the blood glucose. The body recruits blood vessels in the muscle. There's more blood coming to the muscle, and along with it, more nutrients and insulin. For the uptake of glucose by the muscle cell, it needs the help of both insulin and another transporter which is present in the cell membrane of the muscle cell called GLUT4 glucose transporter. At resting conditions, the great majority of GLUT4 molecules is stored in the vesicles within the cell, keeping it in a quiescent stage, waiting for the recruitment signal. But when we begin to exercise, the GLUT4 transporters get translocated to the cell membrane, increasing the glucose uptake. Thus, there is an increase in GLUT4 transporter with increasing duration of exercise so that the glucose from the blood is transported easily by the GLUT4 to the inside of the muscle cell, and the muscle cell uses the glucose to produce ATP, and the person can continue to exercise. This effect may remain for up to 48 hours after physical activity, suggesting the need of practice in a chronic manner to obtain its benefits continuously. Continuous and repetitive muscle contraction that is characteristic of exercise acts as a stressor agent. This activity causes depletion of ATP levels, which are rapidly resynthesized. But after a while, the ATP synthesis may not catch up with the depletion. This activates another enzyme called AMPK through a series of other reactions. This enzyme recruits GLUT4 from within the cell to the cell membrane. Thus, with increasing exercise, more GLUT4 are recruited and more glucose is cleared from the blood, and the blood sugar level falls. Exercise training is thus the most potent stimulus to increase the skeletal muscle GLUT4 expression, an effect that may partly contribute to improved insulin action and glucose disposal following the exercise training. Muscle blood flow can increase up to 20-fold from rest to intense dynamic exercise. With prolonged exercise, as the liver becomes depleted of glycogen, liver glucose output is also reduced. This can also cause a decrease in blood glucose. Green et al. In their research found that CLAD4 protein content in skeletal muscle was rapidly upregulated after just one 6-minute session of heavy intermittent exercise. It has been shown that CLAD4 protein content remains elevated for up to 24 hours after the last exercise bout, so the effect lingers on for a longer time. Thus, you need a lesser amount of insulin. But there is a rapid decline in skeletal muscle CLAD4 protein content with detraining or when you stop exercising for a few days. So consistency is the key. In general, the best time to exercise is 1 to 3 hours after eating, when your blood sugar level is likely to be higher. Thus, physical activity is a key element in the prevention and management of type 2 diabetes. If you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, give exercise a shot.